October 7th is a day that will forever live in infamy. 3,000 Hamas terrorists stormed into Israel. They killed parents in front of their children and children in front of their parents. They dragged 255 people, both living and dead, into the dark dungeons of Gaza.
As the war continues to rage between Israel and Hamas in the Gaza Strip, efforts to reach a diplomatic resolution continue.
Israeli Defense Forces say their troops have stepped up operations in Gaza to bring Israeli and foreign hostages home.
A breakthrough still seems elusive.
My friends, defeating our brutal enemies requires both courage and clarity. Clarity begins by knowing the difference between good and evil. Yet incredibly, many anti-Israel protesters, many choose to stand with evil. They stand with Hamas.
Go colonize somewhere else.
They refuse to make the simple distinction between those who target terrorists and those who target civilians, between the democratic state of Israel and the terrorist thugs of Hamas.
Pro-Palestinian protesters are demanding UCLA divest from any companies with ties to Israel.
Students clashing with police, tents set up on college campuses. Across America, chaos engulfs universities as pro-Palestinian protests spread coast to coast.
Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's rules or code of conduct? Yes or no?
It is a context-dependent decision, Congresswoman.
That's your testimony today? Calling for the genocide of Jews is depending upon the context?
Get back! Get back! Continued clashes and threats of violence on college campuses coast to coast.
Ugly scenes at UCLA as pro-Palestinian protesters and their opponents engage in violent clashes.
The school has shut down on-campus classes, and Jewish students say they fear for their safety.
Free Palestine!
My name is Shabbos Kestenbaum. I'm a recent graduate at Harvard University. You know, this is my first time back. It almost seems like I'm at a scene of a crime. This was the place where I experienced anti-Semitism in the United States for the very first time in my life. Coming here, it's sort of bittersweet. This is where I called home for 2.5 years, but it certainly doesn't feel like it anymore.
I was so incredibly proud to be a Columbia student before October 7th, and I think that's how the vast majority of the Jewish community there really felt. I am the daughter of 2 Iranian Americans. My parents were both born in Iran and fled religious persecution and authoritarianism there. So I think, you know, being raised by parents who were persecuted because of their Judaism, who have a great appreciation for the country that we now live in and also for their Jewish identities has really shaped who I am and why I speak out so much about this issue. But also it frankly just feels like we don't have a choice.
My mother is from Latvia and my father's from Belarus. My grandmother is a Holocaust survivor, and so is my grandfather from my mom's side, right? They don't mess around. They've seen it with their own eyes. I come from a long line of strong Jews without trembling knees. There's a lot of fear in Jewish students, and that's why I did what I did, to show the Jewish students that there's no need to be afraid of these monsters.
Never again must never be an empty promise. It must always remain a sacred vow, and after October 7th, never again is now.
Thank you for listening to our stories. You've seen the hate spreading like wildfire on campuses across the country. It's hostile, it's isolating, and it's real. But we are not backing down. We're putting our time and energy on the line, but we can't do it alone. Students need more resources and support to stand up against anti-Semitism, and you can help us receive those resources. Right now, there's a crucial election for the World Zionist Congress. My friends, Shabbos, Eli, and I, along with 17 other student activists, are running as part of the Aish slate to ensure that critical funding goes where it's needed most, supporting Jewish students. For just $5 and 3 minutes of your time, you can help us access the resources to fight anti-Semitism on our college campuses, where it is so sorely needed. Vote now for Aish. Take a stand and join us. Thank you.